So let's get started. Oh, welcome to our meditation time together. I would invite you to settle in wherever you have found yourself. Allow the body just to get comfortable. Allow the shoulders just to relax and the eyes to close softly. And then just settle into a rhythm of breath that is the rhythm you need right here and right now. Really honor whatever you have experienced today, in the last hour, the minutes leading up to this moment here. Find a rhythm of breath that soothes the parts of you that need soothing. That is the first way we can really honor our showing up, is that we honor how we show up. We come tired and busy and distracted, but we show up. And so just find that in breath and that out breath that really honor where you are right now. And just start to notice the shift, the physical shift, the mental shift, the emotional shift, all through the breath. And begin to settle in a little bit more, feeling really comfortable in the spot where you've landed. And for these few minutes that we have together, I want us to think about our environment. And so I had a quote that was presented to me a few weeks ago that's just kind of stuck, and I haven't really figured out what to do with it. And I thought, today is the day. And this quote says, you deserve, except I'm going to change the you and I'm going to say I deserve to be in environments that bring out the softness in me instead of the survival in me. And I'm going to say it again. I want you to hear when I say I, you realize that's you. I deserve to be in environments that bring out the softness in me instead of the survival in me. And so what I'd like us to do just for these next few breaths across this next moment or so is just kind of survey our day, maybe the last couple of days, of where you've been, the situations you've found yourself in, the people that you've interacted with. And just kind of as you survey hour by hour, event by event, see if you could notice, if you had to categorize, which of those environments, which of those situations were the ones that were soft and nurturing and took care of you the way that you needed, and which of them were harder and caused us to feel like we were in this survival state, this fight, this flight, this just hanging on. So I'm going to pause, and each of us just survey the day. Where have we been? With whom have we interacted? What have we done? And I don't ask us this question to lay blame or make us feel like we've done something wrong or been in the wrong place. I ask because we need to recognize that there are environments around us that build us up and nurture and cultivate the person that we are becoming minute by minute. And then there are environments where it's really hard to be the person that we know we are meant to be. We stay on edge. We struggle emotionally. And some of those are environments that truly we have no control over. We may not even have a lot of influence over. They're places that we must go sometimes. They're people that we must interact with. And so how do we then take this practice off our cushion, off our mat, wherever you are, and go into those environments, trying to be unchanged because of them? And so I think the reason this quote sat with me is because it kind of had this sense of blame to it, that it's the environment's fault. The more that it sat with me, the more that I just reflected on it, I realized the environment of me is the one that I can influence. This body is this vessel that holds my soul, my being, the essence of me. And it's an environment that I can control. And so what I'd like us to do across these few minutes that we have is cultivate the softness within. There are still going to be moments where we feel a little hardened. We become on edge. Our emotions get activated in maybe a negative kind of way. But as long as we keep showing up, we keep connecting back to the breath, and we face ourselves with compassion, we will cultivate the softness within. And the more we do that, I believe, and I have lived it, when we go into those environments that we must go into, that may not be as nurturing toward us, their impact, their influence over us will lessen and lessen and lessen. But the work starts here. The cultivating of the softness of us internally starts here. And so I want to just take us through just kind of a scan of some different spots where sometimes our hardness creeps in. And let's just see across these few minutes if we can find the softness of us again. And so let's continue to breathe slow and deep and gentle breaths in and out. And as you are seated or lying down where you are, let's bring our mind's eye, our awareness up to the center of our forehead. Almost like you're shifting your eyes internally and you can see your forehead. Sometimes our forehead tells the story of our worry. It tells the story of our tension, of our stress. But it can also tell the story of how we've learned to let things go. And so let's just breathe and pay attention to that spot, softening the effects of the worry, softening the effects of the stress and the tension. Just keep your focus there and take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, let it all go. And take a deep breath in. And exhale, let it go. One more breath in. And let it go. And continue to focus right there in the center of your forehead. And it's not a matter of 3 breaths erasing all the worry and all the trials that we experience. But it does set an intention that I want the story right across that surface of my forehead to be one of softness, of reflection, of grace, of patience. And when I need a reminder, I want my exhale to represent me letting all the rest just go. And then take your awareness, like you're turning your eyes. Take it right to the center of your heart, like you're almost physically looking down, and you can see right there in the middle of your chest at the heart center. Our hearts carry the trauma of the things that we've experienced. Our hearts carry the emotional responses that we have to things. Our hearts carry the essence of who we are. Our compassion, our patience, our acceptance. And the way that we can lessen the impact of the trauma and the trials and the stressors is to focus on the compassion and the acceptance. And so as your mind stays focused there, let's bring softness right here into our heart. And even if we have things that have caused our heart to become hardened, again, we won't fix it and erase it in 3 breaths, but we can start by setting the intention. And again, let the exhale represent letting go of anything that represents the hardening of that heart center. Just take a long breath in. And exhale, let it all go. And take a slow breath in. And exhale, let it go. Breathing in. And breathing out. And again, as you keep your focus right there at your heart, see the softness, see the goodness, see the compassion, see the acceptance. And the more you can see those things, the softer your heart center will remain. Even when we have to go into these environments and with these people that don't nurture and cultivate that, we take it with us. And their influence becomes less and less and less. And so then as you continue just to be where you are, there's one more spot I'd like us to pay attention to. I said in the very beginning, our body, our physical self represents the vessel that holds our soul, our being. And so I would invite you, this physical representation of you, send your focus, like your mind's eye, turn it to the part of the physical being of you where you hold your stuff the most. Maybe it's in the palms of your hands. You feel yourself tensing up your fists. Maybe it's across your lower back. Maybe it's in your shoulders. Maybe it's in your hips, deep in the center of your gut. We all hold tension in different places. And for each of us, we typically have a spot that we really hold on to it. And so I'd like us just to have loving awareness of that spot as you see this vessel of you. It's not the vessel minus the tight shoulders or the vessel minus the tense jaw. I want us to see the wholeness of who we are. And so if you'll just breathe into the space that you can picture as a spot that you tend to hold your stuff, we'll start the intention of letting it go. Breathing in slowly and deeply. Exhale, release it out. Breathing in, slow and deep. Exhale, release. And inhale. And exhale. And again, keep your focus on this vessel of you. And so I would invite you, let's just sit together for these last couple of minutes that we have in quiet. Maybe reflection will come to your mind. Maybe your mind will stay still. Maybe your mind will wander and go places, and you'll come right back here. But through it all, let's breathe in the wholeness, the softness of the environment of us, and let the breath out represent letting go of anything that compromises that environment. Staying present, keeping our mind's eye on the totality of our environment. And as you continue to breathe, and as we bring our time to a close in just a moment, I want to go back to the words of that quote. And it says, you deserve to be in environments that bring out the softness in you, not the survival in you. We deserve to be in environments that bring out the softness in us, not the survival in us. And what I hope that you'll hear when you hear those words is that we deserve to make the vessel of us the softest, most nurturing, compassionate environment possible. Because we know there are environments out in the world over which we have no control. And they may not be the kind of environment that nurtures us, that develops us. But the one over which we do have control, let's breathe in the compassion, the acceptance, the goodness. Let's breathe out anything that compromises that environment. From the center of our forehead, where our thoughts and our memories are stored, to the center of our heart, where our emotions and our traumas sit, to the full vessel of who we are. We do deserve to be in environments that cultivate and nurture the softness. Let's make that environment us. Namaste.